All right, guys, so you may have had hand cramps after the last session. You're building muscle. Okay, I want to prevent my rim from cracking, so I'm going to keep pushing on the rim and blending and smearing and pushing on the rim. It should look relatively smooth. Okay, and we're going to push this clay out pretty much as far as we think we can take it while it's still being stable. And your goal at this point is to gently touch the walls and check to see if there are any thick or thin spots. You want all the walls to be the same level of evenness. Okay, you want them to be nice and even. Nice and even. So I'm checking the walls for evenness. I'm compressing the rim by pushing down and smearing the rim back into itself. If you need to add a little bit of water to accomplish this, do that. If you had an oopsie daisy with your bowl and you need to start over, that's okay. You should have plenty of time to start over. It's all right if you make a mistake. Clay is forgiving. All right, so now I'm going to look at my bowl on the inside. I'm going to imagine I'm taking a spoon and I'm going to scoop items out of it with my spoon. As my bowl slides on the inside, it shouldn't hit any bumps or lumps, okay? You want it to be a nice, smooth experience when you use your spoons. So if you have deep fingerprint marks or a lot of bumps, this is when you want to go through and really smooth out those bumps and lumps and make it as neat and clean and tidy as possible. The tidiness of the inside of your bowl will make it whether or not you actually want to use it, okay? So if you don't have a nice, smooth interior, it's not going to be fun for you to use. You're not going to like it, and it will not be something you reach for in the cupboard, okay? So you want to think about how you're going to use it, what you're going to use it for, and is it going to be something you actually enjoy? Is this an enjoyable experience? Smoothing, smoothing, smoothing. Smoothing things out and refining work takes the longest out of anything. So we're just going to keep pressing our thumb, smoothing and refining. Notice how I never put it on the table. It's always in my hand. I want to maintain that round bottom. If you put it on the table, it's going to have a flat bottom, and then that's going to show up on the inside. Flat bottoms are a little bit harder to get things out of when it's a bowl. A bowl should be round. Although I have seen some flat bottom ones. Not a huge fan. I don't think they're that functional though. We're just going to keep smoothing, 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 trying to make it as neat and clean as possible. And trying to think about the thickness of the walls. The walls should be the same thickness all the way around. Okay, that's the inside of the bowl. It's just cleaning and smoothing and blending and removing lumps and bumps. You want to look at the diameter of the bowl. You want to check to see if it's going to be the same distance and it's round, or did you pinch it weird and now it's an oval? Okay, so you want to try to keep your bowl nice and round. Please don't squish it like I just did to mine. It causes problems for you later down the road. All right, so smoothing and refining the inside. This is going to take you some time. This is not something that's just going to go super, super fast. It's going to take you quite a bit of time. It's smoothing the inside and making it nice and neat and clean and no bumps. No bumps, no lumps. You want to try to think about the inside of the shape of the bowl as half of a globe. Okay, kind of like half of a globe. And I want the rim of mine to kind of spread out a little bit. We're going to spread that out a little bit. All right, once you feel relatively confident about the shape of your bowl, and you think the inside is going to be nice and it's going to be an experience you're going to enjoy when it's finally time to use it, then we can start moving on to the next step, okay? So to store your bowl, always put it upside down. Put a little bit of water on it so it doesn't dry out. Don't soak it with water. If you soak it with water, the clay becomes super saturated and it'll actually melt. So you only want to have a little bit of water. So I'm going to wet my hand. I'm going to rub my hands together so they're both wet, and then just gently rub it onto the outside surface. And that's enough water. And then I can wrap it up in plastic. Wrap it up in plastic completely. Clean my hands, clean my table, and I will meet you back here for part 4 of cereal bowls. I can't wait to use these. These are going to be so fun.